What's up, DC Nation? We're back to another review on Supergirl, and guys, I haven't done a review on this in a while. Well, the show hasn't been around for a while because it's been delayed, but finally it's back with the Lex Luthor-centric episode. And how I'm going to do this review is the first part of the review will be non-spoiler, so you haven't seen the episode, you can watch this for a little bit, and I'll probably put a clip that'll say spoiler talk, and then you can leave, and then come back for the spoilers, alright? Because I have a lot to talk about in the spoiler section, but I'll at least give my pretty much the short thoughts of what I thought about it in the non-spoiler section. But guys, if you like the video, give a big thumbs up, new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, and have the notification bell so you miss on my next Supergirl review. It'll be next Sunday, well, next Sunday, next Monday, next time the new episode comes out, I'll have a review up for you guys, alright? But guys, starting off with non-spoiler, this episode is directed by Melissa Benoist, who is actually the actor who plays Supergirl, and I gotta say, she did a great job, alright? Because usually when actors start off for the first time directing, their directorial debut, it's alright, it's good. Let's say David Ramsey, Diggle on Arrow. His first debut in Season 7, Episode 12, Past Sins, that was a great episode. But you can see certain inconsistencies that's alright, we can see it was his first time directing. For instance, in that episode, a bomb is going off at the end, the climax, and usually when a bomb is going off in an episode, it's very suspenseful, it's going by fast, and that scene goes by fast. But in this, it felt like it was dragged out long, and you're alright, that could have been fixed up a little bit. It was still a great episode, but you can't blame it. It's the first time directing. Same with Kate Cassidy or other different actors. But this is probably the best first time directorial debut I've seen from an actor from the Arrowverse. She does a great job here. Honestly, I'd rather have her become the new director. Honestly, have her, I know it's a lot to say, alright, be the main star of the show, be the director. But I feel like this episode is directed better than a lot of the episodes on Supergirl. And that's actually a big deal. This season of Supergirl, it really started, it was alright at the beginning, got good after post-crisis, and then the past 4 or 5 episodes been getting kind of boring, with the whole Leviathan and all that stuff, and finally it picks up in this episode. But I really gotta say, if this would have had a different director, or the directing wasn't that good, this episode would kind of it'd been good still, but it would have not reached the heights that this episode did. It's really good, guys. And it's, guys, as you know, it's Lex Luthor-centric. It's a Lex Luthor-centric episode, and John Cryer kills it, right? I'm just gonna say, he owns every scene he's in. You see, pretty much, this episode's based on, it's post-crisis, all the stuff that's been leading up to a point in time that he's come a hero and stuff, so you find out about that. And it's pretty much master plan and how all the pretty much the pieces of this storyline with Leviathan, Supergirl, all of it connects, and it's kind of rewarding. Really, if you've been following the series since post-crisis for this whole season, and you watch this episode, you're alright, it's all coming together now, and with only 3 episodes left, that's perfect. The last episode, Alex coming to Supergirl, that's nice, but it felt kind of alright, we really need to get the ball rolling and get to the climax, and this kind of feels like it. It kind of feels alright, we're getting somewhere, and it's really exciting. I'm really excited to see where they take this story in the final few episodes. But guys, also, we have awesome action sequences in this episode. Martian Manhunter's dope, he's really cool, and another shocking character returns, which I won't spoil for you guys, obviously, but it's really cool, and you'll be shocked by it. It's a character that I love. The person does it. It's only short scene. They return. It's kind of left field. They just come in for the fight, but it's still really cool. And guys, there's also this episode explains certain big moments in the season. Like I said, it brings the pieces together. But certain moments, big twists and turns that I was oh, okay. Usually when Supergirl does twists, it's alright, it's fine, but it's not amazing. But here it's that was a good twist, Lex Luthor and stuff. But yeah, guys, overall this episode is really good. I do recommend it. Lex Luthor obviously has been the best part of this season, and having him as pretty much the central character of this episode is a big deal, and it's really cool. It makes the episode awesome. But then the rest of the supporting cast was good too. William, Lena, all those other characters were great. Just the only thing I'm not really sold on is Leviathan still. They up it a little bit in this episode. Lex Luthor, he really helps it out, but I'm still not sold on them. They're getting closer, but they really need to get the ball rolling on that villain. That's the only problem with Supergirl right now. Everything else is very interesting and intriguing, but they need to make Leviathan better than just, they've been around for decades, centuries, and they deal with technology. Oh, they're a god, this, that. It's just not really interesting. But yeah, guys, overall, I'm gonna give this episode a 9 out of 10. It's amazing. I really recommend it. You should check it out. But with the non-spoiler section out of the way, if you haven't seen the episode, go watch it and then come back for the spoiler talk. So yeah, guys, without further ado, let's get to our spoiler discussion of Supergirl Season 5, Episode 17. So guys, this episode is titled Deus Lex Machina, and that's a cool name, alright? And we really see, like I said, non-spoiler, Lex Luthor's plan come into, pretty much come together. And I really like how it's just plain Leviathan. And you have Eve Tessmacher, which I hope I'm pronouncing her name right, but she's pretty much like Lex Luthor's assistant last season when he was the villain. And Leah pretty much comes up to him and is like, hey, she betrayed you. She's been with Leviathan. You were played. And he was like, really? And turns out what he does is he plays her. So by the end of the episode, pretty much Eve, she's like, oh, I love you, we're partners. He's like, yeah, I don't love you. And he pushes her away, and it was such a good scene. He's like, because at the beginning of the episode, he's like, oh, I'm gonna find out your father's death, who killed him. I'm gonna protect your mother. I'm better than Leviathan. We're gonna save the world. And he was like, oh, I'm for this. And she was skeptical at first. She was like, would you be like another Leviathan? Like, just pretty much put my mother in danger, manipulate me. And then Lex like, no, I wouldn't do that. And you see this all go through, and throughout the episode, she starts falling in love with him. And by the end of the episode, he's all like, yeah, so pretty much what he did was he pretty much found her killer, which was supposedly her killer, or well, her dad's killer, and it was pretty much Jeremiah, Supergirl's father. And Eve killed Jeremiah, which was a big part of this episode. A couple episodes ago, we found out about that, and it felt kind of left field. And I was like, why would they do that? But it just felt like, alright, they're just putting a character off the show. But here it's very interesting, and at the end of the episode, he's like, yeah, that Jeremiah didn't kill your father. I didn't care about finding out who actually did it. I just need to remove Supergirl's dad from the board. And Eve's like, why would you do that? I didn't want to kill anybody. And to make it worse, he's like, yeah, you know those guards that are protecting your mother from Leviathan? Yeah, if you betray me, pretty much I'm gonna have those guards kill your mother. So yeah, that's not really good for you. And I really like that. The charisma from John Cryer really sells the scene. And you see Eve be like, you're worse than Leviathan. Lex was like, no, I'm not worse, I'm better. And it's just so good, the lines read, the writing in this episode is really good, the directing, everything's on point, it's really good. And John Cryer is probably one of my favorite Lex Luthors now. Last season he was great, it's been getting really good, but this episode really shows it. I like Michael Rosenbaum from Smallville, he's good, but I really like John Cryer. He just, really sells the charisma and stuff. And guys, another thing is, you pretty much see that he's been trying to get into Leviathan and then take over their Obsidian Platinum program, the VR stuff, which I feel like has been the least interesting thing. But he makes it interesting here, and he's trying to take it down and then take down Leviathan, so he becomes supreme. And you see him do this. You have Eve. She's like his assistant, going in, maneuvering all this. He's pretty much putting, the different people that Alex is going after throughout the past 2 episodes in VR, trying to save him, Bonnie, different characters. He's been manipulating them, manipulating their lives. He put a glitch in the system so Leviathan can't figure it out. And in the past 2 episodes, we saw Kelly and William trying to figure this out, but Eve has to keep that glitch in there because that's the only way that Lex can get into Leviathan. And by the end of the episode, you see him, throughout the episode, you see him meet up with, the Leviathan chick. I forgot her name, it's, Gemma or whatever. But he meets up with her, he's like, oh, I got this. But then he ends up killing the old lady, which the old lady, she was, had all these people in VR. She was creepy, very creepy. But she dies, and Lex pretty much saves all these people. It looks like he's a hero and stuff. And so it actually starts out the episode like that. Supergirl, Martian Manager, and what? Lex a hero? And by the end of the episode, it all comes full circle. You're like, oh, okay. It really goes very far, and it shows that Lex is the smartest man, one of the most smartest mans in the universe, and it really shows that. It's really cool. He kills the old lady, he meets the Leviathan chick, and she's like, I'm a god. She starts zapping. I feel like that was kind of cheesy, because she turned all robotic, but then Lex Luthor made it better. He's like, oh, don't worry, I'm making this better. we figured out a way to keep Supergirl all of them away, because he pretty much saw that William and all that are pretty much coming closer to figuring out Leviathan's plans and that glitch that Lex has. So he's stopping that, but at the same time, Leviathan thinks that, oh, he's on our side, right? No, he's trying to manipulate them, destroy them, then destroy Supergirl. He has a whole master plan that comes together. And seeing Lex Luthor just go at different states, like talking speeches and stuff, it just shows he's like the best. He's one of my favorite Lex Luthors. Like John Carter just does it so well. And guys, after the opening, we see like post-crisis. It goes to all stuff like Kingdom Come Superman, all the fights, Lex Luthor, and you see him wake up. He's like, I saved the world, and I made a new one. And it just shows all that stuff come together. It's so cool, guys. I really liked it. And guys, other things in this episode was pretty much Supergirl. She finds out about, well, Martian Manhunter and Brainiac, they find out about the different VR people that are stuck in VR, and they're like, okay, well, we'll use like Myriad to get into it and fix it. She goes to the Fortress of Solitude, tries to use it, but then Lena shows up. And guys, Lena in this episode, she's pretty much on Lex Luthor's side. She's like, I don't really trust you, but throughout the episode, she starts to trust him and just pretty much push Supergirl away. There's even a scene where, so Lena actually finds out about Kara, her dad died, she's like, she has sympathy for her. So they have like a nice scene, but Lex is like, nope, that's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna let them come friends again. So let's have Supergirl use Myriad and pretty much break that bond again. And you see that, and then Leviathan, like assassin, shows up and it lets pretty much a Sun Eater free. And guys, this is dope. You see a Sun Eater. I thought it was Starro at first. I was like, is that Starro? It gets out, it has like tentacles and stuff, but it gets out into the sky, right? And what happens is pretty much Martian Manhunter, it has to pretty much go after it, but guess who shows up? M'gann, Miss Martian. She shows up, they fly up, they start taking down that thing. You see Supergirl show up in a Lex suit, which is so cool. It's one of my favorite scenes. Well, probably one of my favorite scenes in this episode and the favorite scenes of the entire season. And though M'gann only showed up for that scene and all, like she just showed up and Martian Manhunter was like, hey, you're back, let's go save the world. Like, it was short, but it was really cool, alright? I hope she shows up in future episodes of the season, like the last three, maybe another scene, but it's just always cool to see M'gann show up again and interact with Martian Manhunter, because that was one of my favorite characters from season 2. Then she showed up barely at the end of season 3 and that was pretty much it, but now that she's back, very little, it's very quick, but still really cool. It's really cool to bring her back to fight off a Sun Eater. Like, that's dope. But yeah, guys, all that comes together. And also what we see in this episode is at the end of the episode, Lex goes to the Fortress of Solitude and he has the whole thing to his control. And that's really cool because that just shows that he's going to be lethal. He's going to be doing a lot of stuff in these final episodes that I'm excited for. But guys, also he meets up with like Lena. Like I said, he pretty much convinces her. But he also talks to Lillian Luthor, his mother. And throughout this episode they're talking. And she's like, you're going out the chessboard. You're not doing it right. And Lex like, I know what I'm doing. Don't worry about it. And he's like, checkmate. And you see like Lillian wants to play it safe a little bit. Like, not safe, like she's still taking risks. She's like, oh, Lex, take this risk. But Lex takes some big risks that could like pretty much destroy his whole plan. But he takes those risks and they're perfect. It works perfectly and it goes all to plan, which is really cool. And it shows that, yeah, Lillian's smart, Leah's smart, but Lex is really the supreme Luthor. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much the episode. And like I said, non-spoiler directing, the writing, all on point. Lex is awesome. And I'm looking forward to the next episode of Misty and Link. I'm wondering what that episode will be about. Will we see more of Lex? I'm thinking we will. And I just hope we don't have no more like filler episodes, because I feel like past episodes, like past 2 episodes have been like kind of filler. Like the Alex one was filler, but it was a fun episode. I like that one. But with this episode, it's a very eventful and pushed it very far. And now we just got to a very like important part, like the climax in the storyline. And I hope we don't stop that to do like a filler storyline. I hope we keep this momentum and end this season off really well. Like this season 5 is getting really good. It's not season 4. Season 4 is still the best season, but seasons can still end off as the second best season in Supergirl's entire series. But yeah, guys, you already heard my score. I gave it a 9 out of 10. But in the comments below, tell me what you thought about this episode. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What do you think about Lex Luthor? Do you think he's a great character? Do you think John Cryer is one of the best to play him? And do you think he has like an interesting storyline in this episode? And what do you think will happen in the final episodes? How will Leviathan be beat? What do you think about Leviathan? I'm not a big fan of them yet. They're getting a little better, but they still need to get a lot better to be the main villain. And also, what do you think about M'gann's return? I want to hear about that, alright? Did you like it? Do you think it was too short? Or you think it was just right? But yeah, guys, If you like the video, give a big thumbs up, new channel, make sure to subscribe, and the notification bell so you miss my next Supergirl review next week. I'm excited for it, alright? I'm really on board for the season. It's getting really good, and you better stay tuned for that review because I have a lot to talk about every week, and I like discussing with you guys. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and peace out.